massive depression. So much so that I felt that I could do myself a lot of harm if I,
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because we've been gone for a while.
We've been gone for a couple of days. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Qiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project at the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
CDAT.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is always
the new gangster.
You better know it. And if you don't know,
now you know.
Now you know. Now you know. Yeah, we've been away.
And welcome back. You've been away for a while.
I have been.
Like you popped in and out just every now and then, but
like double dutch.
Yeah. You hopped in. As soon as the rope touched you, you had to hop back out.
Yeah, that's it. Now you don't let it touch you. That's the thing. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
And so yes, and then now you just been consistently turning the rope, making sure that it was happening. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Teamwork
makes the dream work every time. And shout out to Mr. Edmund holding it down. So look, now I'm in the seat now.
Yeah.
Right? And he's gonna be popping in and out every now and then.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. How are you?
I'm all right.
For real, all right. That was just what you're supposed to say this morning.
Right. Probably for real. Like, no, I think that's what I'm supposed to say.
That's what you're supposed to say. Yeah.
But you know what?
I thought you come in. Right? they didn't see you come in.
Yeah.
They didn't see you come in.
No, they. You know what? And as I put my hand out, they see I look like a mummy, y'all, a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm okay.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it could, Oh shit!
Welcome back.
Yeah,
things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's been because we haven't been on at least almost
couple of
weeks or so.
Yeah,
I
want to say
we was off all last week.
Yeah.
And then we did Monday's show prior to the storm. Then we didn't do Wednesday or Friday.
The storm was coming.
Yeah,
or Friday. Yeah. Because
I got up out of here.
Okay.
I went to Savannah.
Your storm stories. That's what I wanted to talk about. Some storm, some silver linings in the storm, because I've seen. Where do I start? Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So this past really the last 30 days or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it started with like that no name, whatever that was.
Oh no!
Even before Helene.
Oh,
was
right.
It Debbie?
It was whatever she was. The storm, just not the storm, just the rain.
One day rain, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's just a regular day raining," but it wasn't a regular day raining. It was like 7 inches of rain in like an hour and a half.
Right, which is and it flooded the whole city.
Flooded a whole lot of the city, and then right after that, Helene, and then after Helene, Milton.
But the good thing is. And God is so good because
all the time
it got worse and worse, right?
Progressively,
right. And so we started to prepare.
Yeah. Okay.
So once we got all that rain for the no name,
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, wait, hold on, this
What is
hurricane.
this? Yeah.
Like, we wasn't prepared as far as like all the flooding that was gonna, but we were kind of aware that flooding was gonna happen.
Yeah. No, that definitely got our attention when it flooded, on a random Wednesday, right?
Good morning, Sharonda. That is did I say no,
Chandra.
Chandra, not Sharonda. I said Sharonda.
Yeah.
Chandra, happy belated birthday. Yesterday was her birthday.
Okay.
Her and Vice President Harris shared the same birthday.
Right on.
We haven't been on since, we was on, congratulations to the marriage.
Yes.
Newlyweds.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's like a big deal too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Rangers.
Yes.
Yes. Dave. And how can we help? Because I know it was some damage over at Urban.
Yeah.
As a part of the storm. Like I got the pictures and I rode by there and I saw, it was like, man, that was another part of this whole, storm recovery journey. And so really talking about storm stories, like we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but like this one was like really, it seemed more personal for me than previous storms.
Cause we missed the storm, like like we've always had maybe some power outage, right? But this was overall, everybody was affected in some type of way in this storm.
Yes.
Like, it'd be like,
that's right.
Every 5 houses may have, you might have had a story, or every 20 houses, every 1 out of 20 houses, you heard something that may happen. Somebody, the roof may fall off on one person's house out of 50. You know what I mean? You see the trees but
it always was like, kind of scattered and
our city still looked like the city.
Yeah. Not
after these last 2 storms, you look like you saw people throw away their whole lifehood.
Yeah, that was
their livelihood. You know what I mean? Like every corner you go, like my mom, where she lived at, 2 blocks over at Helene, if she was 2 blocks over, she would have been flooded because her neighbors lost everything. Like the houses got flooded at the first storm.
Yeah, and that's what I saw too. I saw like the water with the first one and the wind with the second one. So it was like after,
but it rained on the second one because
it rained, but it was just that it wasn't. We didn't get the storm surge because I guess the way that the storm it went south, and so we had like that negative surge, and really what we was praying for, because we was praying like, okay, if it go north, we're gonna get all of this storm surge, and then it's gonna be more water on top of the water.
We need to really figure out how to build a wall.
Just do that. Just put a wall up, y'all.
Stop it. Good morning, Michelle.
So how about just build a dome? Speaking of domes, the Tropicana Field Dome gone. Did you see that?
Oh, how can you miss it?
Yeah, the roof on the Trop is gone after Hurricane Milton. So that's a whole nother conversation that we're gonna have to have now.
So now we have the dome that's
roofless.
So you can't do nothing there.
Yeah, until you get a roof. And then the estimates and the cost of getting a roof, like when that start coming in, you got to remember that stadium is slated to be demolished in 3 years. And so do you want to spend $40-50 million on a roof for a stadium that's about to be tore down and rebuilt?
Right.
Like that's a real question. How much is insurance going to cover, for it? Because there was some changes to the insurance policy. So now the coverage is not what it once was. And so now how is that going to look? So it's some stuff that needs to be handled, y'all.
We went from Geico to Direct.
Talk me about Direct. I've been with Direct for a minute.
I went that way too, but still.
But yeah, the conversation is different when you got a claim, right? Yes, it is true. So you listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Gems, y'all. And we're talking about hurricane recovery, hurricane stories. What has been some of your hurricane silver linings? You know, in the midst of the storm, because with every storm, of course, there's a silver lining.
Yeah.
And so there's a bright spot in all of it. And one of the bright spots, among many for me, I guess, like I said, it was kind of personal. So I had my mom. My mom came and stayed with us. So that was like,
I know that was good for you.
That was amazing. Being able to take care of her. So that was cool. Silver lining. She didn't have power and all of that stuff. And so she came on Friday. She stayed with my aunt during the storm. But then after the storm, she still didn't have power. My aunt didn't have power. It was a whole thing. But long story short, she ended up coming to stay with us for the weekend. And so she hung out with us on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday she went back home. Yeah.
Yeah, power. So you know what we did was we went to Savannah.
Okay.
And honestly, we had so much fun in Savannah.
It's hard. It's hard out here for those who stayed. That was a debate too, right?
Right. And this thing is the people who feel like your decision is better than anybody else's decision is crazy to me. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to do what's best for their family. Everybody couldn't up and leave. Like the fact that I felt like I would be stupid if I stayed.
Okay.
I don't feel like you stupid if you stayed. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, hey,
staying is not in the cards.
It's not in the cards, not for me and my family. You know what I mean?
Right. Leaving was best for you all.
Right.
Yeah.
And we did that. Like we got in our group chat, we was trying to figure out, like, are we gonna go to somebody's house? Where are we gonna do?
Right.
We got we have a lot of young kids in our family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was about like 7 young, you know what I mean? 4 or 5, you know, so we all just said as a collective, we getting on the road and we trailed each other up to Savannah. The kids end up having to go.
Why Savannah? What was Savannah? Was just like a spot that seemed safe.
Yup. Listen, we picked
so it's not that you got family or anybody there.
Nope.
It was just like, okay.
We was
like coming to America, you spin the globe.
That's really it.
And boom.
That's it. That's really how it happened.
Okay.
Because we was like Leesburg. Like,
okay, yeah.
We was going to your town.
Yeah.
You know?
But that was kind of in the way a little bit.
So, because we was going to stay somewhere in Florida, we looked at some places. So, we booked the first thing that we kind of saw. We booked, because we had like 4 rooms. We had 3 originally, end up with 4. And the people in Savannah were so nice to us.
Nice.
We went, the kids swam every day. We went downtown Savannah. I'm not even a crab eater, but we did like a big seafood fest.
Okay.
And the seafood was cheaper.
How was the weather in Savannah?
It was nice. Like it was cold. You know, you realize that it was really fall there.
Okay, it's fall for real.
Yeah.
Not Florida fall.
Not Florida fall.
Okay, where you get a little breeze.
No, at night it was cold.
Okay.
For us.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on the trolley like
it's cold here. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. But other than that, and you know, it's always good when things like this bring you together with your family, so you can have family time. So we did that, and then we came back.
Meech, what's up? Pie, see you.
We came back. And you know, I watched the storm for a while. Like I monitored from what you had, and I watched it from my cameras until my cameras went out.
Okay. So that was like the indicator of something.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the cameras, and you know what I mean. I'm like, whoa.
Ooh, yeah.
The first thing I seen in my cameras was one of the trees or the branches. Went out, fell off. In my backyard.
Okay. Right? Did it fall on the house or?
No. There was no really. So at my house, other than losing power for like 7 days.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
And I had already lost all my food from
Helene.
Yeah. Because I was out of power.
That's right. That's right.
I was one of the people who lost power for
and
Helene.
It literally was like the next week. So
yeah,
we was like all in recovery mode when we had to like start getting out of recovery and prep and mobilize.
Mhm.
That was the time, man. And I was saying this to a few people, and I said it yesterday in one of our conversations, was about how we're writing history right now.
Mhm.
Like the history that we're living is going to be talked about for years after this, right? Like how we talk about Ian, we talk about Irma,
Mhm.
we talk about, Hurricane Elena, and those, like, this period that we're in is historic.
Yeah, it is.
And so what we do and how we navigated up to this point will all be, conversations of history. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so the silver lining again in it for me, the other part of it beyond the personal piece was just seeing how everybody came together, like how the storm brings
Mhm.
out the best and the worst in people, right?
Right. Chandra said, listening. Wait, I can't.
Listen, we were in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It was hard to look at those updates and was unable to do anything. So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
what? I was there, and
Yeah.
then like I'm
Yeah,
such a
that's tough.
mama bear, right?
Yeah.
I knew they was there. I'm calling their kids.
Yeah.
Right. You
yeah.
know what I mean? I'm fussing.
Yeah, I was fussing too.
We fussing at Jam.
Like,
Jam, come on,
you
Jam.
need to leave. What you doing?
Right, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's
Yeah, we did.
but
Good
this
morning,
is
man.
what the village is
Yeah.
about. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Tamika, the Mannings was there. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Well, the Mitchums
Okay.
was out
Okay.
there. Jalen's my cousin, but he's more like a son to me too.
Okay, so they all over on the island.
They over there.
Yeah.
I talked to
Irie.
him. He's like, "Oh, my parents gone." I was like, "I know." This is
That's why I'm calling. Right?
I would be calling if they was here, but I'm extra worried.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the other thing too. The phone calls, like so many phone calls,
Fancy.
so many messages. People just checking and really being concerned was inspiring, man, and it just show you. Like I said, it kind of brought out the best in a lot of people.
Overall, that's what
Yeah.
I can say about this storm.
Yep.
Is that you see how St. Pete strong we are.
Oh my God!
Look at that church.
That was on purpose today. Too.
Yeah, like we really, because we united. Like even there's still food giveaways. Story 727 is still giving away food,
and they were doing it before, and now they just turned up during and after.
Right. You see where there's people who really, everybody just kind of united, and I think again a lot of people was hurting, so you've seen a lot of stuff that came out, but sometimes you call people out and they don't see the error of their ways, and then once you do that, you can see a shift in changes in some things.
Which is good. You want to shift, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. And so, you get a little uncomfortable, and some of these conversations are uncomfortable, but that's where the growth is. And so I think we had those opportunities. I got a list of shout outs I want to give.
Go with Fancy Nancy first.
We can do that after the break. Go ahead.
Because Fancy Nancy, if she ain't one ever, I don't know how she was everywhere.
Yeah.
But she kept you updated. If you listen,
true, yeah.
Nancy, I don't know how you do it.
We need to get a press badge and then find out the sauce for cloning yourself.
Yeah, because Nancy made sure that everybody was updated on what was going on.
Yep, resources,
where everything was gonna be, and not only did she put it out there, she was
she didn't just send you, she was there too.
It happened.
So we'll do that after the break. We're going to talk about some of the amazing work, amazing people, and those who contributed. We also want to talk about some of the resources, some of the things that we can expect, some of the issues that were brought up, some history. Yeah, we got a good program for y'all today. So y'all make sure that y'all
then we still talk about Big Meech.
Yeah, Big Meech.
They've
been saying now Meech is free.
And now people ain't. I don't know.
Who would have thunk it? So y'all stick around. We'll be back at about 6-7 minutes after the hour. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Jams, The Bird.
Yeah.
Attention voters, stay informed about the 2024 election schedule. Primary election day is August 20th. Make sure you're registered by July 22nd. Early voting runs from August 10th to the 18th, with hours from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and weekends from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mark your calendars for the general election on November 5th. Don't forget to register by October 7th. Your vote matters. Stay informed, get registered, and be heard. For more information, visit www.votepinellas.com.
Agape Souls Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at agapesoulsboutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Souls Boutique today. Agape Souls Boutique. High-end boutique.
retaliatory attack against Iran.
And just like that, guess what?
We back.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
This is Qiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That?
See That.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is the new
gangster.
Baby.
Now, you know what I want to say, too?
Tell me what you want to say.
Is that the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club listeners and viewers, y'all made us feel so loved.
Yeah.
Because we wasn't on, we got the inboxes. I saw people in person. Where y'all at? When y'all coming back? Wait, hold on.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
You there?
I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. It kind of made us it made me more motivated to come in, because if y'all can't see me, but I'm in pain, kind of. You know what I mean? I fell, my side is scraped up, and I really wanted to be in the bed.
Yeah.
But with all the inquiries and we miss y'all, where y'all at, motivated me. Y'all gave me that extra in.
To get on out that bed.
Mm-hmm.
To get out that bed, man. And I appreciate it, because I was like, whoa, we talked about, but I didn't realize that, like you was gonna be like coming in, like
I told you, but
holding your breath. Yeah, you ain't tell me like the extent of what had happened.
I had to get a tetanus shot.
Oh wow!
Because I don't know if I know I haven't had one in the last 10 years. If I can and better be safe than sorry, because I hit concrete.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so they was like,
so I ain't trying to like go too far, but like what happened?
I fell off a scooter.
Okay.
That's it.
Because like okay, some people know, but not everybody knows.
And everybody don't have to know. No, I'm just saying.
It ain't everybody, but that's why I was like, I ain't trying to go too far.
No, but I fell, I scraped myself.
Okay,
and I'm a daredevil, so you know what I mean? I'm gonna hop back on.
Really did like
I did. It looks worse than what it is, I think.
Yeah, because it looked bad. I hope it's not as bad as it looked.
No, like my finger. So the scar is right here.
Okay.
But to keep it to clean, it had to wrap up all of this, and then my arm is right here, but it got to be wrapped.
Old rash type
right,
stuff,
and my whole foot is wrapped, but it's my toe. You know what I mean? So
you be jumping off boats.
I know, and you know what? And I would tell you this
jumping out of planes,
and this is not gonna stop who I am.
Yeah,
this is just
It's like Evel Knievel. They said he broke every bone in his body at some point, but
this is who I am.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, this is what you do.
This is what I do.
Okay, yeah.
I've been blessed to not have any injuries on. Hey, it comes with the territory.
Comes with the territory. Well, I'm glad to know that you're on the mend and that you're also recovering, because that is one of the topics. St. Pete recovers, so Qiana recovering too.
Yeah, I am.
And LA, you're gonna have to wait to get that one, man. He said, speaking of Jamaica, can we get the full story of the adventures of Jabbar and the lost ark on the next episode?
Oh, I want to get it. I want to get it too. You know what I mean?
Because he was all over the place. I did see like the timeline of like I missed my flight, but it ended up working out. I missed this, but I'm like, man.
LA is right. These falls hit different once you get older. Yes. Now I will tell you the story. Now
we get injured just by stretching wrong.
No, hey, listen. Like I look like I'm younger.
I'm recovering from a stretch, though. That's what's funny, because like I went to sleep and woke up and stretched and was like, ooh.
Now I will tell you what.
And for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like you be like,
what's that? You're
that's what let you know.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is this thing bothering me? And why is it like going all the way down my arm now? Like, what is that all about? And all I did was go to sleep and wake up.
I'm looking for the trip to go to like one of them healing springs.
Okay.
They just dip my body in it.
Take me with you. Let's go. 'Cause I got a few things that can use
some healing,
some healing waters and all of that stuff too. So St. Pete recovers, man. Thank you to everybody who really jumped in. I want to start with saying thank you to the city administration and staff. As critical as we are of a lot of things, and it's still the biggest room in the house is room for improvement, but the responsiveness of the administration and just
kudos to them.
The care.
Kudos to them.
They displayed was just like really, really big. So shout out to the mayor, his team, city staff, the sanitation crew, Parks and Rec. They were doing the debris removal. Other departments, transitioning into different roles.
The free gas.
Oh yeah, I think that was a state thing. The free gas, that was big. So Senator Rousson, thank you. State Rep Lindsey Cross came through big. Rep Rayner was there. Like, she brought some stuff for us, and we were able to get it out to folks. Kathy Castor was really advocating for the disaster declaration that DeSantis was like not trying to do or stalling on doing, which would limit and hinder resources from coming. So thank you to them, all of the community groups, people who were doing, community feeding, those who were helping to do repairs and repairing, removing storm debris personally, like those groups. Story 727, of course,
J Nude,
all the food trucks.
Yeah, because there was so many. But
there were food trucks in each district. So shout out again, another one of the administrative task was putting food trucks in each district, and so we appreciate that. New Hope, they ended up setting up one. Shout out to Pastor Carlos Sr. They set up a food and supply distribution site. Greater Mount Zion, over there off of 16th Street, they were doing their thing. Mount Zion Progressive, shout out to Pastor Murphy and his team. Liz Siplin over at New Faith, they were activated and so they had some damage to their sanctuary, so they couldn't have service, but they ended up using the fellowship hall as a comfort station and just creating space for people. So shout out to them. Bethel Community Baptist, Bethel Metropolitan was amazing. So Bethel Metropolitan, that's Pastor Vincent, and he was at City Council the Thursday after Helene. We were talking about it before the break, how those in Clam Bayou flooded in a way that they hadn't flooded ever. And
that's right. That's what my mama them.
Yeah, you drive by there here, and so, but they're on the other side of the street, and so that one side flooded, like bad, and so, but to see how he navigated his own personal, journey while also leading, efforts for recovery. Like, they had a lot of supplies and things that they were pushing out. Hot meals were coming out from over there as well, at Bethel. So shout out to him as well.
When I say it was just amazing.
Yeah.
When Dixie, Home, Lowe's, like people was giving out supplies.
World Changers Kitchen, man. Positive impact. They did a lot of good. NAACP, they were on the front lines as well.
They shut down 16th Street. You know what I mean? It was
Urban League, man. The neighborhood associations, the co-op, Dream Defenders, the Hometown Haulers was another one of the things. Foundation for Healthy St. Pete came through with some stuff. The Pinellas Democratic Party, Jennifer and her team, appreciate you. And all of the individual contributions of people who even a lot of people helped, and they don't want their name to be called. They don't want to be recognized. So we're recognizing you now. And anybody who, wasn't on my list, but you've done anything, like, we're shouting you out now, and we're saying thank you to you. So if you say, well, he didn't call my name, well, I'm calling your name now.
Right. And then put it out there, because even Chandra Jesse was saying thanks to Danita and because they came in
Glam
and
Catering,
Shots and Vibes, Glam Studios.
Awning was like really blown down, and they came through and did that. And that's what I mean. It's like so many people, so many individuals, that just like looked across the street. I saw extension cords across streets. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this: we need to redo Libra season.
Okay, need to run Libra season back. Libra season came in with like a. But what was that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always prepared for a storm to kind of put a damper on it. But whoa.
Yeah, because my wife, she say that too. Like, around her birthday is when you start to see it, and sure enough, like clockwork. That's
every year, like almost every year, there's a storm around my birthday.
Yeah. But I do, like I said, I believe that this recovery is going to be a while, because there are some people who lost everything, like, and I don't think really understanding what that means, like, to lose everything.
You got further, and the thing it is, a lot of people can't afford to replace.
Yeah.
Like, let's say
Yeah.
just the material things, like your beds,
Yeah.
your couches,
True.
your furniture, and like I can just think of like the stuff that was passed down from generations to generations.
That's the not just stuff.
Yeah, that's
because if you look at it, you be like, oh well, it's just stuff. There's some things in those piles that cannot be replaced.
That cannot be replaced, regardless of what you know. And so I know after I saw Tonio post is like, once the kids go back, like I know there's some parents that want to cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like break down, but they've been strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
But they can't even, so it's sad. That's because it's a lot of stuff that you think about that's not materialistic, not the food, not the water, not, the clothes on your back. There's some things that and you know what else is the memories that you shared in that spot. Like, and thank God that you have the memories. But there's some things that, like, there's couches that people didn't throw away because their mother used to sit in that couch, or their husband who passed away.
Or it's like a dresser that was in your family that was handmade by your granddaddy.
And none of your children know how to make stuff no more. So that was the last.
That don't last. Like it ain't real wood or whatever. Like children's footprints and pictures and photos. Because I helped one of my neighbors. Her shed was blown over, and as we were putting it back together, she, had like a thing with photos in it, and she was like, look, here's my mom. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then like the children's pictures, like if that stuff would have really been destroyed,
that would
you can't replace that.
You really can't. And I mean, like my brother Emil, he had his stuff in his garage, and he never thought that it flooded. He go in there, his drum set.
Yeah.
All this other stuff, like,
Wow.
And then my mom roof still
dealing with it.
Still dealing. Yeah. And the crazy part is I had no power. Okay. She got no front ceiling, but she got the power.
She got power, but you got like a moon roof and
kind of. So it was still kind of like, and we ended up staying at her house. Because the whole house wasn't, and we were able to put the tarp still on the roof.
Gotcha.
And close the ceiling in, and all that other stuff. But she had power when we didn't, but no ceiling.
No ceiling. Wow, that is crazy, man. And that's what I mean, like those silver linings, and just seeing how people had to come together. Because even without a ceiling, she still was able to create a space for you all,
right?
Yeah, to come in and be comfortable.
Shout out to my mama, because she always tried. Like she say she gonna get rid of my room, but my room still got like 50% of my clothes in it.
Okay.
Like when I go, it's still my room. Like it's still my bed. The bed I left there still there. Yeah, my dresser.
Oh well, look, this is one of those moments that will allow you to get around to that stuff, because that's what I ended up doing too. Like it was stuff that I needed to get around to that I didn't get around to, that the storm kind of pushed through. So yeah, man, thank you to everybody who helped anybody. If you did anything, if you lifted a hand, said a prayer, kind word, thank you, because the kindness and respect was definitely in abundance, and it really showed something about.
And we're not done. The one thing is, we listen. We know. I mean, we don't know everything everybody need, but we listen.
Yep.
So the one thing about the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, CDAT, Jerish Martin.
Thanks, Dan.
Is that we're about the people,
yes,
and bringing people the resources and the things that people don't typically get.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So just be looking out. We got some stuff in the works.
We're gonna have to bring some people in, because it's a lot of needs that in our community that we need some subject matter expertise to navigate. And so y'all stay tuned. If you know people who are helping people navigate some of these things, like these insurance claims, like that's a big one. And there's like a lot of concerns, right? Around, you already had like this insurance crisis, and then they bucking claims, not paying out, finding reasons not to pay. And now you have multiple people, not just in St. Pete, but really around the state that's going to be filing claims. Like that's about to be a whole thing. I mean,
and you know what? So many people who don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Like if their house is paid for, they
couldn't afford it, can't afford to do it, and they ain't really trying to do it. And so, how you navigate that? The FEMA, help, because also with Helene, a lot of people lost cars, and so just navigating, car insurance claims when your car is
Helene
total.
and Milton.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cars gone.
A lot of cars gone.
I done seen a lot of paper tags on the ride around. People getting you got to get around because we're in a state where you can't. Our city where public transportation doesn't get not like
not there.
Like you can do it, but it's not convenient. You know what I mean? Like but.
Not only is it not convenient, it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole thing to try and
you really have to like it's go to work, get to, but like to go to to Walmart and all that other stuff.
I think it took me 45 minutes to catch I caught a bus from City Hall home, and I think I might have been it might have been like an hour and a half total, just with me like planning my route, making it to the bus stop, and then being on the bus. It was like 45 minutes to get from City Hall to Childs Park on the bus. You know what I'm saying? And so it was definitely interesting to try and navigate that. And shout out to PSTA. They did give like free rides and free transportation. Well, it wasn't free. The city paid for it. So the city paid for some rides. I think we ended up putting like $30,000 into providing transportation for those who lost their cars. And this was before the storm.
Yeah.
And so we'll be getting that tally too. So we'll be able to bring that maybe Friday to let you all know how much was spent just in this effort, because there was, almost $1 million spent in debris removal. There was money spent in, providing those free meals, getting those food trucks out. Like it's a lot of resources that, were dispersed, and we want to be accountable and we want to be transparent and make sure that everybody knows, what was spent on this effort. And
the
then
city they did a big thing on this one. I it made me proud to say I live in the city of St. Pete. And like we say, we talk about like the good, when it's good, we praise it. When it's bad, we call it out because we want a healthy relationship. And so with that, like the sleepless nights that they did, because I know our mayor didn't get good night's sleep trying to make sure that
you know what I mean? That head, boy.
And to be honest with what was given, I think he did an amazing job to lead our city and to make sure, like the power, I think they got it on as quick as they could with everybody in the whole city that was out of power.
Does anybody not have power now?
I think it's some people, maybe not a lot, but there's probably some.
Because it was like some real damage that caused that. Like I mean, you see it.
Yeah.
Like it's not just we just don't like y'all and we gonna make y'all wait before. Like it was some real damage that was done. So shout out to the people who came in, the linemen who were traveling from other states and coming in.
Because you still see them. They set up. You see them riding around now. They're trying to make sure there's power lines that's still down. Like I think there's one down in my mama neighborhood. It got to be dead at this point. But
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
And
because I'm like, why is that still down?
Yeah, it's still in the middle of the street. But
but it's some trees that still like huge trees that are still down.
You see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's gonna take some time.
It's really gonna take some time. So, but kudos to everybody who came together in this crisis. I would say,
and still coming together. Yeah, like you got to pack your patience because it's gonna be a long road. Yeah, but I do want to see how we can shorten some of these roads, and because like Clam Bayou, riding by there this morning and going down 37th Street, still seeing. All that stuff is like, okay.
All that stuff still in the yard.
Where we at, come on now. Like, where we at with that? You know what I'm saying?
I know they had the program, like, if you had a truck, they were paying you to haul off. But that hit capacity, and then so...
and I think they just ended it. I got to check my emails and all of that stuff this morning to see where we at with that. But I believe that the hometown hauling program is ending and then going back to the contractor, because you got to remember that the idea. So what we got a report. I think it was last Thursday or the Thursday before Milton. That Wednesday they had started picking up debris, and so it was like, again, it was all recovery mode. Ooh, Qiana, like you struggling. But it was like
Nobody
recovery
can't
mode.
see me.
Yeah, but
Look.
I can. You struggling. I see it. So but we like just going into recovery mode, making preparations to like come out of Helene, and then seeing another hurricane. We just wasn't ready for that. And I don't know, like, how do you get ready for, 2 hurricanes back to back like that is definitely a conversation. Even before Helene, we had a scientist that came in to one of our committee of the wholes. I'll bring that this week, just so that y'all can start to see what we saw as far as a presentation around what we can begin to expect as it relates to climate change, the impact that climate change is having on our city, the infrastructure investments that are needed, the infrastructure investments that are being made, because that's another one of the things that we hear is like, we need to be putting more money into this. So let's look at that. Let's look at how much money we're actually putting in versus what needs to be put in, so that as we, begin our journey into this new fiscal year. We just started fiscal year, 25 in October. We can start talking about budget priorities and how we want to, really prepare ourselves.
What I will want to say, because the city, look at these contracts that we're giving out to outside sources and see who really cared about our city.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because there was some who didn't care, and I'm gonna go back to that crane that fell downtown. Right.
Yeah.
I talked about it on Monday before it happened and said that crane was gonna fall down. Right.
You
knew.
You did.
And the fact that it did, if I knew that it was gonna fall down, they knew that it was a possibility that it was gonna fall down.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, then you need a new job.
Yeah, and the possibility that it might fall down, you start having conversations about insurance and, who's going to pay for the damages when it does fall, and who that's a real conversation, man.
Because
like the cost of removing it versus the cost of cashing out if something happened like that. That's something that
and also this storm is, and I know we want to develop our city, but this storms, these last 3, let us know that our city is not made for all the stuff that they're trying to bring into our city. Like unfortunately, like, and this is a Qiana thing, y'all, and I'll talk to a scientist. Y'all can bring one of them in.
Yeah, we got to bring the scientists.
Scientists in, but we know that grass and dirt suck up water.
Yeah,
we know that, right? Yeah. We know that. All we got is concrete and buildings that's empty right now. Where's that water going?
We need some more grass and dirt.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, everywhere you see every piece, they just put
Morning,
it up.
Dave. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Oh, we got a caller.
Yeah, we do. Motivational Monday. We talking about the recovery of the city and the infrastructure needs. Caller, you on the air.
Yes, hey, good morning. I'm listening to you guys describing the events of Hurricane Milton and Helene. Of course, that was a tragedy, and I'm really happy to know and hear how the city manager, how they came together and have to restore to this point. But the reason I'm calling, I heard mention of the crane downtown that Qiana predicted would fall. Definitely, I predicted this word here, but they knew it was going to fall. But there was a news that did say, right? They did say that it's going to take a while to disassemble it, and there was no way they could have disassembled it before that hurricane hit.
Yeah.
Yes. So they did talk about it. They were aware of it. I guess they made sure that there was nobody in the area that would be, impacted or affected by the crane should it fall on a building. I guess that they made sure that nobody was around that area.
Right.
Because it was big in the news, and I think some city engineers talked about it that, hey, this crane is going to come down, but we cannot disassemble it before the hurricane.
Right.
So that could be an excusable event.
I hear that. I appreciate that. And look,
yes, sir.
And they do put those in contracts. They do have excusable events. If you can see Qiana's face, though.
Yes. But no, but
But
we
I
gotta
appreciate that.
we gotta give Q the thumbs up because she predicted it.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
All right, good.
Thank you so much for
Have a
calling.
great day. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Gems, and you are welcome to call in as well. You can call in 727-637-2416. We're talking about the recovery and also
You couldn't take the ball down.
Yeah.
You couldn't take a piece of it.
Well, I saw the thing that said it was going to take maybe like 7 days or 7 or 8 days to bring it down.
So 7 to 8 days. We knew that this storm was coming when Helene came.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would have gave them enough time to take it down. So I'm not buying that.
Okay.
That's me.
I hear that.
Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
Mr. Edmund, good morning.
Edmund.
How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm just calling in, man. I'm just loving the show, man. Y'all doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a lot to say.
What's your take on this crane thing, man? First, because Qiana said they knew it was coming down and they should have took it down. Michelle is in the comments. She said, "I'm with Q. We don't have infrastructure here. Talk to me. What's your thoughts on this crane, man, coming down?"
Well, I think it's big fish eating little fish, man. I think they could have took the crane down. It probably wouldn't have been financially in their interest to take it down, but I think after the damage, I know they should have probably took it down or at least partially disassemble it. So the building it wrecked into, if it would have failed, it wouldn't have did that much damage, or it probably wouldn't even cross the whole street if they would have partially took it down. I think that's a sign of a lot of things that's going on or wrong in the city right now. Because I told them, I was like, let it would have been my crane.
Okay.
Let it would have been Jabbar Edmond crane.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been like, ooh, so don't worry about it. It's excusable. That's not excusable.
So you think that you think the owner of the crane has something to do with it? Yeah. So whose crane is it anyway? That's the question, right?
No, but if they had 7 to 8 days per their documents, right?
Yeah.
Per what they say, then again, you had enough time because after they urged everybody. They was telling us, like, that's what really made me leave, because we've never seen this much urgency around a storm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And preparation for a storm that was coming. So how do you miss that? Like,
yeah.
So I'm not buying it.
It's definitely some unanswered questions, and I know what usually happens, and I'm looking forward to it happening again. Is on Thursdays, we get this after action report, and I'm sure that that's going to be a large part of the conversation about what happened, and so we'll be able to hear more directly, and also being able to ask some pointed questions about what happened. And then how you can prevent it from happening before. Because even with Helene, I remember that it was just swinging. And they were like, it's better for it to just swing than, whatever the alternative was. And so they just left it up there just kind of swinging in the wind. And people was riding by saying, hey, man, y'all know this crane up here just swinging. And it was like, yeah, we know, but that's safer than like locking it and then having the wind blow it down, which eventually happened almost a week and a half later.
Which was 7 or 8 days.
Yeah. There you have it.
So
8 days to completely take it down and less to take it halfway down is what's in the comments. But we'll get all of that information and make sure that y'all send that in and stay plugged in, because there are after action reports that have to, that happen, where we really talk through a lot of the stuff that we've experienced, the pluses and deltas, things we did right, and ways that we can improve. So absolutely.
There is, and I just want to say is that every dollar ain't good dollars. Right. Yeah. And I'm going to stress this, is that we've seen in these last 3 storms that our city cannot take all this development that is happening in our city, unfortunately.
So this was Dan. He said, our hospitality industry is devastated. The beach, restaurants, and hotels will take years to come back. I see that as well. I went to Gulfport Beach, and it's like, still a disaster area? Like it's parts of it that you can't even access.
I went to Reddington Beach. Like I was out there. I rode
What's
the beach.
it looking like out there?
It's sad out there too.
Yeah.
You know, the sand is all the way up. The housing.
Yeah, like the creeks is down the beach.
Yeah. The restaurants, the storefronts and all that, they're still shut down. They're boarded up. The windows are bust out for the ones that didn't. Everybody's throwing away everything. So everybody's livelihood has changed.
Nancy said, "Oh, Maddie's is back." Right?
Maddie's back?
I don't know. I'm not seeing punctuation, so I don't know if that's a question or if that's a statement. Maddie's back. But the other part of that is the jobs, right? So like when you see a restaurant close down, you got to think about, it's just not that restaurant, but that's work. Those are workers that are being displaced by their place of business, being down.
They back.
She said they back. Okay. Maddie's is back. They took a beating too, man. I was scared for them too. So yeah, it's definitely been a long haul to get here. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we're making history every day. And so the things that we're doing now will be talked about for years to come. You know what I'm saying? The decisions that we make now will be talked about from years to come. So just be mindful of, what's happening in real time, man. Like we really are making some history, some good and some areas that we can improve. So yeah.
Yeah.
For the culture. Shifting gears.
Big
Meech.
Larry Hoover.
Yeah. so Big Meech. I don't have like a whole write-up about who he is and what he's done. So if you don't know who Big Meech is,
go look it up.
Go look it up. But there is there's been several documentaries that have been done. There's actually a show program on Stars that's based BMF, Black Mafia Family, that's based upon his life.
Remember we did the pictures, me and my family.
Yes.
BMF pictures.
Yes. So inspired by Big Meech, right? And so they've been saying free Big Meech, and from what I'm hearing is Big Meech is free. I don't know if he's home or if he's in like a halfway house or where he's at in that journey, but he's no longer in prison. And what I've been hearing, I heard a little bit about it on the way here, is that some people are upset that, people are celebrating Big Meech's release. What's your take?
So get over it.
Oh man.
I know that's horrible. But I mean, listen, he did because he did really good for a lot of people. And I mean, honestly, all the time that he was locked up, people change. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that they have to be caged for life. There's people who done a lot worse that done got out a lot sooner. Right? And then when you look at a lot of drug dealers,
he's officially out. Yes, he's currently in a halfway house, Michelle said. Thank you for that. Yeah.
A lot of drug dealers come because they want to provide for their families.
Right.
We
believe in second chances.
Right. And so, and again, a lot of people, the music industry, you'll look at it, a lot of people of their careers jumped off because Meech believed in them and told them not to be in the streets. Like, this ain't where you need to be. Like, you got real talent. Like, let's focus over here. So
right.
He allowed to take people that might have been in the streets and give them an opportunity not to, because he was already in there.
Right.
You know, once your hands is dirty,
I know a lot of people like that. That was like some of my experience just growing up in the streets. Like, everybody ain't trying to recruit you to be like a drug dealer or want you to be like, hey, you look like you would be good at killing people. Like, come do that for me. Like, it was more people telling me not to be in the streets than that were telling me to be in the streets.
Right.
And like, I had to convince people like to let me do what I was trying to do, because they like, man, get out of here, man, go to school. Like Scrappy dude, let me at him. And they like, man, go home, man. Yeah, like, you don't really need to be out here.
Home.
Yeah. Which one that was? I know you're talking about.
Sister.
Like, go home. But yeah, so Big Meech, Larry Hoover, right? Look, but yeah, so he's free. And it's been like a long time coming. They've been saying it, free him. He's free.
He's free. And let me tell you,
let's see what he's gonna do.
On the other end, I've been seeing all the comedians, all the people like, Big Meech, I'm telling you right now, they've been using your name.
Yes, I've been seeing that too. Yeah,
they're a part of it. I better see all of them at your welcome home party
because there's a lot of people
just talking about they're a part of. And then they're talking about, oh, these people out here is putting dirt on your name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're not living up. They're not living up to the stuff. You gonna be so
the stuff
mad.
that he stand for. Yeah,
He's gonna be so mad.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, shout out to him, man. Congratulations. It's, like I said, I'm a fan of BMF. You know the show. I watched the series,
and just think about
think it's well done.
I love BMF, right? Like, to be honest, and just look at all the people that was able to be employed by his journey, his, you know, and even in the movie, even though, like, you know, some of the stuff is fictional, they would say.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but you could see that he like had a good heart. Like, they had rules,
right?
You know what I mean? We talk about Freaknik in there, and one of it was you wasn't supposed to disrespect the women. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. He didn't stand. So there's morals. So I feel like good people sometimes make bad decisions.
Always, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you always have two sides that you struggle with. The good and the bad. Everybody's not always all bad, and everybody ain't always all good.
Yeah, and that's the goal, right? Is to make sure that the good outweigh the bad,
right? That,
you know, and I guess maybe the other side of that is maybe some families that were impacted by decisions that he made, or some people that was in his team or on his team. You know, they did some things, and people, you know, families,
and you are entitled,
and so they may be like, you know, why y'all celebrating this dude when
you're entitled?
This is the impact that it had on my family, and it may not have been, you know, all good.
So. Yeah, and you know what? And you're entitled for that because your experience is different from somebody else's. So
and he served his time. Like he you know, he didn't get a pardon. Like he went to prison. He did the time that he was, you know, sentenced to do. And now he's home. And so, like Mr. Edmund put in the chat, like, we believe in second chances. We don't think that people should be criminalized all of their life. So, you know, if you did something, you paid a price for it, you know, come on out, man, and, you know, make amends, atone, do what you got to do to be a productive member of society. And that's what that's what we can only pray for and hope for. And I think he will. I mean, just looking at the stuff that has been written and done already.
Right.
You know, I mean, you got a number one show on a cable network with your son playing you. Like, I mean, if you go back to doing what you was doing before.
Right. And just think about the impact that he had. Like, I'm just saying, just the impact that they had to be able to maneuver and still make money all these years later off your name.
Right. No, that's true.
So.
True. Good stuff, y'all. So shout out to Big Meech and his family and those who, you know, have been waiting for him. T.I., Jeezy, all of them. I think that's when I first heard about him, was in some of their music. Big Meech and Larry Hoover and all of those guys. I had them left the streets by that time, so I didn't know nothing about nothing.
And you know what? Big shout out. T.I. said he ain't doing no more shows.
Oh, he retired?
He retired. They won that $71 million lawsuit.
Shout out to Tiny. He said she was the one that was pushing the issue.
He was like, he didn't want to do it.
Man, shout out to you got a good woman.
That's what he said.
$71 million lawsuit. He said he done doing shows.
He said, I'm not jumping around no more stages for y'all.
Oh,
I'm not doing it. I am done.
Really?
Yeah. He
71 million, that's enough to retire, I guess.
I mean, just think, they already was millionaires, so they already had money.
Yeah, they good. But when you get a $71 million infusion.
But all 71 ain't theirs. I don't know how they're gonna split it up, because you know, the girls, because it's
it was a lawsuit about their daughters, right?
Right,
using their image and likeness.
The three whatever, I can't even think of their name.
OMG.
Oh yeah, the
OMG girls.
Right.
Yeah.
The three of them, they're gonna get some money, and like you say, their kids set up. He happy about their jump start,
and he doing like affordable housing and stuff. I saw that he like did a affordable housing complex in Atlanta. Him and Killer Mike just opened up a historic restaurant or something. So they moving in the way that they need to be moving.
Yeah, they making
Us or Else. That was the last one that I really liked from T.I. was Us or Else.
That was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then his kids are doing their thing. Like I like his oldest son.
What's up with the one son though?
King.
Yeah.
It's always one son.
I guess so. Cause that young man, I'm like, really? Like, come on, man.
He everywhere.
Come on. Like he kind of bought into that image and that persona. But yeah, and I tell you what made it real for me was I watched a document, not a document, but it was like a podcast with 2 Chainz and his son, and it had T.I. and his son, and you can see the difference in the 2 children. And it's like really just persona. Like 2 Chainz son is like really, he was like, I had to Google you to see who you was and what you do.
Yeah.
And then, T.I.'s son, like he trying to be him and everything that he personified.
Sometimes, because it's always exciting
Yeah.
to be on that road over there until you start getting in trouble and seeing all of it. And hopefully King, you know what I mean?
He shake out of it.
Maybe, but that's who he's been. Like, if you watch all their shows, King always been the one that kind of...
Yeah.
You know what I
knew
mean?
he was going to go off the rails a little bit?
Yeah, because he was off the rails before.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right. So another thing, too, that was in the news, black teenager being harassed in his own neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of reminding us of the Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery stories. So I don't know if y'all saw that, but it was another black man being harassed for simply just walking, man. He was walking in the Sarasota neighborhood. He pulled out his phone and started recording. And they were like real deal questioning him about why he's there. Does he live there?
Walking, you don't walk around my neighborhood. You don't walk past my house 4 times or 3 times, whatever he said.
Yep.
Like, why you here? It's broad daylight.
Yep. So I'm gonna read this clip from an article. It says, "Here's a little backstory. The morning aftermath." Look, it's jumping because there's a bunch of ads on this page. Pardon me. The morning aftermath of Hurricane Milton. This is his mom posted this. The morning aftermath of Hurricane Milton, my son walked to the neighborhood to talk to his girlfriend on his phone because we didn't have power service, and it was bad in our house. This is what he had to deal with, she wrote. Even after telling these men he lives here, they were not satisfied with his answer and continued to harass him. This was not a 1-minute altercation. My son was followed for over 10 minutes dealing with this. I'm so happy that he recorded every moment and thankful that my child is still alive. I don't want to live in a community that does not welcome me and my children because of the color of our skin. The situation has me going back to a deep depression, thinking about 2009 with Trayvon Martin, and this man grabbing something out of his car.
It was a gun.
Yeah. And what if that guy wasn't holding him back? All I can think of, would my son still be here? So it worked out for him in the end, but yeah, they harassed him. One of them pulled out a gun, and it was all because he was a black man walking in the neighborhood.
Why were you so angry about a black man, black teenager?
Yeah. And to the point where you actually, threatened him with violence. And
he was you know what? He was pretty calm, too. Yeah. But you want me to...
He was like, man, because...
Is this harassment?
Because as I was watching the video, like... I'm like admiring like how cool he was being, because I'm boiling as I'm watching it.
Right.
Like, and in my mind, I'm handling it a whole different way.
And kudos to the parents, the mom, because you had to instill something in your child.
That's true.
For him to be able to keep the composure, but he knew that there was a fear factor. That's why he started to record it.
Wow.
And for him to still stay calm throughout that, and then the Sarasota police to kind of like brush it off originally. Like
it was no big deal.
Yeah, like, oh no, because he's like, isn't this harassment?
Yeah.
Isn't this harassment? You know what I mean? And they was like, well, they didn't do anything. He went to his car to pull out. Yeah. That had been the other way around.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And some black men are following a white teenager. It would have been police all the way around. All of them would have been questioned. They all probably would have been in handcuffs.
You know this.
Somebody would have been slammed on the ground, tell them to shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so...
Yeah, a whole thing. Whereas with them, it was just kind of like a blow off, like, okay, yeah, this is, par for the course. And then I believe that there was a march or a rally that happened right after that. I didn't see the impact of that. But yeah.
And he lost his job. He lost his job.
The guy who pulled the gun.
Yeah, he did lose his job. And I don't know who. Okay, so I know the mom reported it, right? But shout out to the white guy or whoever who reposted it and found out who everybody was.
Okay, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
showed their social media.
Okay.
And their name.
Like this is who these people are. Yeah.
Like he went and identified everybody.
Okay, good.
Because they're telling their name. And I saw it where he really like went in and he was like, this their social media. This is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
and it resulted in one of them losing
you know
their job.
what? You don't know what it feels like to be harassed until you're harassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this boy feared for his life. Now you really fear for yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's it's a heroes everywhere. That's true. But no, it's just interesting. And again, just this was the thought that came to my mind, right? I live in Childs Park, right? Historically and predominantly black neighborhood. But we see white people walking in our neighborhood all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see white people walking in our neighborhood, we look and we be like, man, I remember a time when white people wouldn't walk in our neighborhood like this. But that don't inspire you to get up and go question them about why they're here.
Right. Or to make them feel
uncomfortable. Like we see white people, I see, white teenagers. We saw, matter of fact, my wife and I, we were laughing about it. We saw a bunch of teenagers coming out our alley. And nobody go in that alley but white teenagers. I guess y'all know no better. It's like, why y'all, like, do y'all know where y'all are? Like, do you like, you clearly don't know where you at. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And they clearly say they do.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Because they feel safe enough to do that in our neighborhood because nobody's bothering them. Nobody's going to them and saying, hey, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Are you sure you're in the right place? Who you here to see? All of that kind of stuff. Like we don't do that.
We just let them be. And a matter of fact, they probably
and that's all we want. Yeah.
And you know what? They're probably more safer in the black neighborhood than they are anywhere else because
True.
People be like, we know somebody go over there. Police gonna be here immediately because they know that they're white, or they're the police. There's so many reasons why they're safe in the black neighborhood because we don't want to be hurt on behalf of them complaining about something. You know what I mean? So they can come in, but then you flip it. You have black people that go into the white neighborhood, the hatred. That you like, how dare you come taint our neighborhood? How dare you feel comfortable enough? You can't afford this. And then you know what? And then you automatically like, they must be drug dealers. No, we're educated black folks.
Right.
We have real jobs. You know what I mean? We worked hard to get along to be in this neighborhood just like you.
Right. So, and that's the part that they just don't seem to get or don't want to get and can't stand. But it's real.
I think he said Q a fool.
Hold on. Q is a fool. They may be safer on black neighborhood. You're right. That's why they moving in the hood. Yeah, because they are safer. And that's always been, I won't say always been the case, but in recent history, that's the case because and if you do something to a black person and you do that same thing to a white person, usually the consequence is going to be heavier if you harm a white person.
It is. And then when you look at the culture difference, right? And we don't subscribe to all, is that we naturally are helpful people.
Yeah. We welcoming, we inviting. Yeah.
We'll see the white family out there sitting out there with no food, and we'll go and take it. And it don't even have to be the white family. It could be any family that's there.
Yeah.
We don't discriminate. If you need help, we like, come on.
Yeah. Our inquiries as to like what you're doing and where you going is not going to be from a place of like you don't belong here and you need to keep it moving. It's going to be like, are you sure that you know what you're doing? Are you okay? Like those are, so if you see a white person and you walk up to them, you're going to be like, you all right? Like, you good? Whereas they walk up to us like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You don't belong here.
And you want me to tell you, it don't matter. You could be in a rich neighborhood or you could be in the poorest neighborhood. They still feel like we don't belong.
Ain't that something, man? It's crazy.
You could be in the poorest the
It's
poorest
crazy.
white neighborhood, and they still feel like we don't belong.
You don't belong there. Right. You walking through the trailer park, they want to know why you here. What you doing over here? It's like
you ain't got no trailer.
Yeah, right. It's only for poor white people, not for black people. But I mean, it's definitely every now and then, and it's more now than then. We get these reminders that we still live in this type of society, you know, where young black men, particularly, are perceived as threats. They're perceived as they easy targets, and like we have to be proactive, man. Like, and so shout out to whoever the anti-racist was that went to work and was able to hold them accountable, for their actions, since the law enforcement in the county or the city didn't do it. The people did it. And so shout out to the people, those who organized and really shined a light on this and really, not letting this end with him being home traumatized.
And my prayers to the family and to the mother, and that you find some comfort that the community came because
you're not in it by yourself.
Because parenting is a team sport. You know what I mean? And being a true neighbor, we saw that in this situation. Ooh. Like you posted it and you didn't have to do this by yourself. This wasn't your alone struggle.
That's right. And then Sarasota was like right where the storm hit too, right?
Right.
Like pretty much. Like that's where, the brunt of it went. And so I got a lot of thoughts on that. But yeah, man, it's just a reminder that, these things still happening. We still have to, walk our posts in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert. Keep your head on the swivel and
stay calm. And there's a lot of rules that comes with it. And sometimes, the objective is to get home.
Because sometimes you want to pop off and
sometimes you need to. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you need to, but sometimes you don't. But the objective is always to get home.
I agree. You know what I
mean?
Now that I agree with. And sometimes it means just recording and sidestepping a fool and not engaging in the foolishness.
Because what happened is he would engage. It would probably been more trauma and stuff. It would have harmed him more than them at that point.
Because he was not looking for a problem, and they were
right.
And so any reaction that he got that fueled that would have been
justification. Because sometimes, and I tell people all the time, like even when some people are wrong, your action to it, because now you have to be corrected, like sometimes overshadow what they
the wrong that they did,
right? Because now
your reaction to the wrong,
right? And so it's kind of like
and that's unfortunate because I know not a lot of people, but I know a few people who react to wrong and they get a bad rap for reacting to wrong, and like now they the bad person because they responding to wrong. I guess that's what my daddy used to tell me: just hit them first. Just swing first. That's what he used to say. Swing first, because they never see the first punch.
Yeah, but they see the reaction. Yeah.
I like
that.
That's what he used to tell me. That wasn't. He gave me a lot of good advice. That one saved me a lot of times, but I wouldn't,
I ain't mad at it.
But it worked.
It
was like hit them first because they never see the first one. They hit a ooh, and then they see the reaction.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got, he hit me first. He hit me first. You want to be that person who hit them first. You got a better odds. So, swing first.
That's
what my daddy said.
Swing first. Okay, well, it's almost 9 o'clock. 1 minute. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts, man. I'm happy to be back in the seat and back with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club audience. So, y'all continue to rock with us, man. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Make sure that you donate. You can contribute to 99 Jams. Go to 99jamstheberg.com. We got needs. We got, wants and desires to really provide quality programming. So make sure that you continue to support the efforts, man. And just thank you.
Right. The station was also affected by the hurricane as well. So like when you're thinking of good deeds, think about over here too as well. We're not screaming it, but you know what I mean? It's stuff that's needed over here.
That's
be
right.
The change you want to be and see.
Please.
And write down those 5 things, more so now than ever. Yeah, stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Make you lose your shoes and shut all around the house. So we'll be back on Wednesday, man. Tag a friend, tap a friend, tap in. Oh, it's a survey link in the chat too. Make sure that y'all take that survey. Thank you, Eric Jackson, for putting that out. And we want to hear about your response and your stories. We'll talk about that on Monday.
Yeah.
Wednesday as well. I'm your brother John.
And this is Qiana.
And we out.